The episode begins with Ryoma Takebayashi, an 11-year-old boy who lives alone in a forest. Technically, he isn't alone and lives with almost 1,000 slimes, and they evolve differently depending on what he is feeding them. He feeds green caterpillars to some of them and they develop into sticky slimes. The sticky fluid they form inside their bodies is used to make powerful threads helpful for hunting. On the contrary, acid slimes possess highly acidic body fluids that can dissolve hard things like bones. Poison slimes are the results of slimes that ate poisonous weeds and survived. They possess strong vitality and split faster than other slimes. There are also cleaner slimes that clean things by eating dirt and grime. Conversely, scavenger slimes eat excrement and garbage to make fertilizer. In the next scene, he goes into the forest and finds a group of soldiers. He notices that a man named Hughes is severely injured among them and gives them a potion of medicine. The medicine cures him successfully, and afterwards, he offers them to rest at his home. Later, they reach a dead end, and Ryoma uses barrier magic to open the entrance of his house, which surprises them. In the next scene, the group members introduce themselves to Ryoma, starting with Reinhard Jamil. He's a duke, the ruler of the Jamil Duchy, and a tamer, which shocks him. Afterwards, he meets Camille, a mage, Zeph, a scout, and Jill, the swordsman. Reinhard tells him their group was attacked by bandits and a black bear came out of nowhere, which hurt Hughes. Impressed by Ryoma's magical attributes and his ability to form potions, Reinhard asks him where he learned everything. Ryoma replies he learned it from his grandparents, who were former adventurers. However, they died 3 years ago and told him to go to another village before their death, as the villagers dislike Ryoma. Consequently, he has been living alone for 3 years, which shocks everyone. Camille uses a magical crystal that reveals Ryoma has high-level physical and mental attributes. However, his combat abilities are low, therefore Reinhard decides to discuss him with his father and his wife Elise. In the next scene, Hughes thanks Ryoma and the group bids farewell to him. It is revealed that Ryoma lied to them about his grandparents' death, and the one who actually died was him. In a flashback, it is shown that Ryoma had a tough life and used to work for a black company where he was exhausted. He was always exploited by his boss. However, one day he hit his head in his sleep and died due to a brain hemorrhage. In the afterlife, he met the 3 gods of the other world: Gain, the creator, Lulusia, the goddess of love, and Kufo, the god of life. It is revealed that he was reincarnated as an 8-year-old boy in another world with the ability to use all types of magic. He signed a contract in which he was prohibited from telling anyone that he came from Earth. The gods instructed him to go to the church and use the oracle skill to talk to them whenever he wants. Finally, he was reborn into the world of Sealfall and used the manual created by the gods to learn magic. He formed a familiar contract with a slime and decided to dedicate his life to researching them. One day, Reinhard arrives unexpectedly with his family, and Ryoma meets Reinbach Jamil, his father, the previous duke. Afterwards, he meets Elise Jamil and his daughter Eliaria. It is revealed that Ryoma has managed to teach his slimes the ability to combine together and form a bigger slime. Everyone gets shocked, and Elise informs Ryoma that no one in history has been able to do that. She praises him and suggests he register with the Tamers Guild, an organization which collects this type of information. Later, Reinhard gives a clock to Ryoma as a token of gratitude. Eliaria informs him that she's from a family of tamers and visited the forest to tame her first familiar. She wants it to be a slime and requests him to teach her everything about them. Ryoma informs her about different slimes and portrays the ability of the cleaner slime. He uses a loincloth taken from a goblin he defeated and hands it to the cleaner slime. The slime removes the goblin grime, which shocks everyone as it is the most difficult thing to clean. Ryoma informs them that the slimes are harmless and they don't eat animal meat unless ordered to. Therefore, Eliaria decides she will make the cleaner slime her first familiar. She wishes to catch a slime that'll evolve into a cleaner slime and requests Ryoma to teach her how. He reluctantly informs her that slimes that can potentially evolve into cleaner slimes are attracted to water that contains sweat. Consequently, she takes a bath to use her sweat water and successfully tames a cleaner slime. Later, Reinbach offers him to join them on their trip to the town of Gimul, and he accepts it. Reinhard tells Ryoma to leave his belongings with Sebas in his item box. However, Ryoma reveals that he can also cast an item box, which surprises everyone. In the next scene, he stores everything in his item box and bids farewell to the statues of the gods. Later, during the journey, Ryoma informs them that he can cast all types of magic, including taming and barrier magic. However, Reinhardt states those who have all the elements can end up being the master of none. Ryoma tells them that he can use healing magic and a little alchemy as well. According to Rainbach, alchemy is rare as alchemists are secretive and have a sinister image associated with them. The journey goes well for some days, but on a heavy rainy night, they encounter a blockade. Ryoma decides to help and wears a raincoat that repels water as it is coated with the sticky solution from a sticky slime. Afterwards, he forms a magic barrier to evade the rain and uses a special technique to remove the blockade successfully. After 3 days, they reach the town of Gimul. Gimul is a mining town, and Ryoma reveals the productivity of the mines has been declining for a few years now. The goal of their trip is to assess which mines to keep working on and which mines to shut down. Later, he visits the church with the Jamil family to get issued an item known as a status board. It displays a person's stats and also functions as a form of ID. Ryoma activates the status board that takes him to Gain, Kufo, and Lelouchia. It is revealed that because of his due diligence, he can use the Oracle skill to meet them for a brief period. Gain informs him that slimes were originally created by him with the ability to adapt to the environment and reproduce. Therefore, their evolutionary possibilities are infinite, and Ryoma was able to unlock their potential by inventing the cleaner and scavenger slimes. It is revealed that one of the previously transferred people from Earth got married to an ancestor of the Jamil family. She was a girl who wanted to become an animal trainer, so her wish when she transferred was to gain a skill that tames animals. She researched and created the taming school of magic, therefore she was granted a title of a noble. Then the Jamil ancestor fell in love with her and they were married. From then on, the gods have individually given their blessings to the Jamil family as a family of tamers. That is why Eliaria has strongly inherited the blood of her ancestor. It is revealed that there was another Earth transferee on her mother's side. He was a stereotypical otaku and wished for strong magical powers to become unstoppable. However, he was too timid to go out of his way to do bad deeds and died peacefully. Lelouchia informs him there's a gap of 200 years between the transferee, so he won't be able to meet one. Much to his surprise, Gain tells him that the god of war and the god of magic have also taken an interest in him, which is rare because they generally dislike transferees. Afterwards, they praise his calm nature and bid him farewell. Later, Rainbow advises to hide his strengths to avoid danger and register with the Tamers Guild. It is revealed that Eliaria's magic capacity is higher than Ryoma, but unlike him, she can't control it efficiently. She requests Ryoma to teach her magic control, and he agrees. Later, they register themselves as with the Tamers Guild, but Ryoma, being a slime specialist, is ranked the lowest. Rainbow takes him to the Adventurers Guild, where his combat abilities are evaluated by Worgen, the master of the guild. Much to everyone's surprise, Ryoma passes the test with flying colors, but Worgen gives him rank G. He instructs him to increase his rank to the top level by completing tasks. Later, Ryoma takes up the job to clean up a house filled with trash and meets Mia, a cat beastkin who is the owner of the house. Ryoma uses the scavenger slimes that eat up all the trash and later washes everything with the cleaner slimes. Afterwards, he uses magic to create bricks and finally completes the task. Mia gets impressed by his efficiency and rewards him with a higher pay. In the next scene, he meets Worgen, who praises his skills and reveals that Mia is an adventurer as well. He asks Ryoma if he can do the task of cleaning up the communal toilet, to which he replies positively. It is revealed that this job was issued by the town government, however, they refused to put up the money for cleaning. They tried to cut costs and started with management fees for the town. Before this, the communal toilet cleaning duty was assigned to the people in the slums, but the government officials made up bogus reasons to cut their pay. Now nobody is willing to take up this task, which shocks Ryoma. Later, he informs the Jamil family about the situation, and Reinhardt orders Sebas to check the records. He believes some sort of embezzlement of money is going on and promises him he'll look into this matter seriously. The next day, Ryoma visits the pits and the communal toilets and notices there are 30 of them in total. He wears a protective suit and decides to clean one pit at a time. After cleaning the pit, it is revealed that there is miasma built up in there. He rushes to the Adventurers Guild to inform Worgen and meets the Jamil family there. Worgen informs them that miasma can cause harmful physical and chemical effects on the body. However, because of his high mental attributes, Ryoma decides he'll clean all the miasma and requests Worgen to forbid everyone from entering the pits. The next day, we can see that Worgen has hired adventurers to keep watch and make sure nobody comes close. Among them, Jeff Gronch, his longtime friend, Asagi, a dragon newt, Lei Pin, a monster researcher, Willana, a dog beastkin, Mizelia, a tiger beastkin, Cilia, a rabbit beastkin, and Mia. Later, Ryoma's huge scavenger slime evolves into a king scavenger slime with a new skill called gluttony. He pulls an all-nighter and successfully manages to clean all the dirty pits. Later, Ryoma recalls a flashback from his old life when his mother always stayed up late to greet him when he worked overtime. However, soon she died and he became lonely as there was no one to greet him. In the present, much to his surprise, the Jamil family greets him on his return and he begins crying of happiness. Eliaria asks Ryoma to begin her training while he expresses his wish to learn attack magic, and Camille volunteers to teach him. Later, Ryoma asks Eliaria if she is good at the ice and fire magic, to which she replies positively. However, Ryoma believes that they are quite hard to play with, as she can only make ice sculptures with ice magic and darkness with fire. He teaches her the tutorial to create bubbly water with water magic and sticky slime. She successfully manages to master the technique effortlessly, and Ryoma decides to teach her another technique. With the help of imagination, he changes the shape of the bubbly water into a fish, which surprises her and instructs her to practice it. In the next scene, Camille teaches him to create a fire arrow because it's the most usable and common technique. Ryoma successfully manages to master the technique in seconds, and Camille gets impressed. Afterwards, he teaches him water shots, wind arrows, rock bullets, stun arrows, and ice arrows. He also teaches him some defensive techniques such as firewalls, water walls, wind shields, and ice shields. In the next scene, Camille finishes his training session with Ryoma and Sebas offers to teach him some space magic. Ryoma reveals that he can use teleport, a space magic technique, which impresses Sebas. He believes Ryoma is ready to learn intermediate space magic like dimension home and warp. For the warp, Ryoma uses the power of imagination to create a mental image of his destination and successfully casts it. Later, they move on to Dimension Home, which is a straight improvement of the item box. It creates a huge space and has more capacity, and unlike the item box, there's air inside, which means living things can be kept in it too. After spending a whole day in training, Ryoma finally manages to cast the Dimension Home that can store his slimes. The next day, they visit the abandoned North Gimul mine to train Ryoma and Eliaria in monster combat skills. She informs Ryoma that after this trip, she's going to the royal capital to attend school. Later, Ryoma along with his group encounters a huge cave mantis. Hughes tells him that they breed quickly and he should expect at least 30 of them. Eliaria uses an ice arrow and finishes the mantis off successfully. Afterwards, Ryoma uses the physical hardening ability and successfully manages to kill 4 mantises at once in close combat. After defeating a bunch of mantises, Eliaria finds a metal slime in the cave and gives it to Ryoma as a token of gratitude. After the inspection of the mines, Rainbach decides to issue a quest through the Adventurers Guild. Ryoma uses alchemy on the metal slime and forms an iron brick, which shocks everyone. Consequently, Rainbach takes him to a shop named Morgan Trading Company, where he meets Serge Morgan. Serge decides to sell Ryoma's goods to generate profit for him, but he requests Serge to keep his identity a secret. In the next scene, it is revealed that those who were involved in embezzlement have been arrested, and Morgan assigns the adventurers a task to hunt monsters in the abandoned mine shafts, including Ryoma. The monsters found in the mine shafts are cave mantises, cave bats, and small rats. They aren't tough monsters, however, their numbers are huge and Worgen warns everyone to stay sharp. Later, it is revealed that Ryoma has been promoted to rank F and can go up to rank E if he performs well in the monster hunt. The adventurers divide into 2 groups, with Asagi and Jeff as leaders. Afterwards, Mia asks Ryoma about the number of slimes he has, to which he replies that he has a total of 4,310 slimes. It is revealed that Ryoma is the only one on their team, except for Beastkins, with the ability to use attack magic. Suddenly, the group encounters a horde of cave mantises and easily defeats them all. Later, Ryoma and Velana notice a group of cave bats covering the ceilings. Ryoma decides to use a magic technique called the Sound Bomb to take them all out at once. He uses a soundproof barrier to cover the group members and launches the Sound Bomb. Afterwards, it is revealed that Ryoma managed to knock them out simultaneously with a huge blast of sound. he launches sticky slimes that eat up the cave bats. After their return, Worgen informs them one of the parties encountered a pack of goblins deep in the mines. According to the intel, there's a large village with over 500 goblins, and their mission is to crush them all. The operation begins, and they use a deep trench filled with acid slimes to melt the goblins quickly. Those who get over the trench are shot down with attack magic and arrows laced with slime poison. The hunters get overpowered by the abundance of goblins, therefore Ryoma uses a sound bomb to startle them. Afterwards, the hunters follow his lead and defeat the goblins. Suddenly, a goblin commander with hobgoblins appears, and Ryoma uses his slimes and kills them all with ease. After the battle, he uses cleaner slimes to remove the goblin grime from everyone, and it is revealed that his healing slimes have begun to cast high heals. In the next scene, everyone praises Ryoma's abilities and thanks him for saving them. While returning, Mia suggests to him that he can make a fortune in the laundry business, which piques his interest. He meets the Jamil family and tells them he defeated 2,000 goblins without any casualties. Much to their surprise, Ryoma states he wishes to separate from them so he can support himself. Will Ryoma be able to successfully become a master of every magic? And what would he do without the Jamil family? Let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll find out in the next episodes as this recap came to an end. As always, thanks for watching. Drop us a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Annie Recapped to find more awesome animes to watch on your feed. With that said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace!